Happy Easter long weekend, everyone. We've got the March stats and we thought we'd share them with you. So the good news is things are moving in the right direction. It looks like we're going to have a busy spring market. So let's go through the numbers. So in March, we sold 1,194 houses versus 855 in February. So that represents an almost 40% increase in sales volume. Now, March of 2023 is not an average month. It's still lower than what we often have, but better than February, and things are going in the right direction. So that's great news. Interesting, we only had a 14% increase in active listings. So what that means is the market has gotten tighter in March than it was in February. So we're now sitting with what we would call 2.2 months of standing inventory. And that is a seller's market. Not the one we were in last March. We will get to those numbers, and warning. I mean, March was the peak last year, so things are definitely lower than they were then. But 2.2 months of standing inventory, and average price is now $637 across the condominium and residential side put together. So that's an increase. You can just kind of see we're moving in the right direction. Now, warning about the next two slides. It is a year-over-year comparison. March was the absolute peak. Things were bananas, and many of us were starting to say our kids will never be able to buy a house. So let's go through it and see what happened. So last March, we had 2,000 sales in the month of March, way more than an average March, versus 1,194 this year. So a 40% reduction in sales volume year over year. Again, a complete anomaly. Price-wise, we're gonna see the same thing, but let's just look at active listings. Last year, 1,257 listings. So in other words, we had we had about 2 weeks of inventory last March. We now have 2.2 months. So that's easier to deal with, and buyers have more options and things are a little bit more balanced. But honestly, a balanced market is between 4 and 6 months of standing inventory. So we're still favoring sellers at this particular juncture. So 113% increase in active listings, and that's reflected here. Now, price, similar story, we'll go into that. Residential homes are 16.9% lower than they were last March. Now, the year-over-year numbers on average don't look anything like that, but there you are. 854 versus 710 this year. Condominiums, we're now sitting at 418. We were at 479. Now, when you factor in the interest rates, affordability has not improved at all, really. So here it is, guys. March numbers are looking up, volumes up, prices are up. Boots on the ground, it looks even more aggressive than these slides would suggest. We've been in multiple offers a number of times, both Lucas and I, and there's lots of buyers out there, and there's still not a lot of inventory. So that all sets up for us to have a really solid spring market. And if you were waiting for the bottom of the market or waiting for a recovery on price, it has happened. If you're one of the buyers that was sitting out, you're too late. Prices are already on their way up, so really it's time to jump in. And sellers, the buyers are back. Now's the time. So exciting news on both fronts. Let's see what April brings. I'm anticipating it's going to be a big one.